if he was surprised by Cousins' performance tonight.
I would say so. Yeah, I mean, I didn't anticipate him making 3 threes. I know he can shoot from out there. We all know that, but first game jitters and fatigue. You know, I wouldn't have expected him to knock down the 2 big shots that really broke the whole game open. So it was kind of fitting. We're all really happy for him. It's been a long haul, long road back for him, and he looked great out there, and he's got a big smile on his face in there.
Surprised how they defended him? I mean, they were way off.
Yeah, not really. You know, they were basically playing on the top side of Steph and Clay the whole game, so their big had to be dropped back into the paint to help on back cuts, and so that's you know, that's one of the areas where this DeMarcus can really help us, is, you know, stepping out and giving us that spacing from the center position.
What did you think of his movements, the way he ran the floor and things like that?
He looked good. I thought his movement was good. He looked strong. He looked quick. Obviously, he fouled out, you know, in 16 minutes, so he's got to get better with his conditioning and his judgment and his reaching. But all in all, considering what he's coming back from, how long it's been since he's played, I was really impressed.
What do you think of this event, sharing forwards every time he was making forwards?
They all love him. They you know, he's a really good teammate. He's you know, he's an emotional guy, but he's loved because he cares about us. He's hilarious. He's just one of the guys, and so that was the one bright spot of the first half of the season. Even though he didn't play, he was around our guys, and they got to know him. And you could see how important that was during the second half when he was making those shots. Just how happy everybody was for him.
How important is it to get DeMarcus Cousins back while you guys are rolling?
I think it helps that his first game back came within a streak when we've been feeling pretty smooth the last couple of weeks. So, yeah, it's a nice way for him to come back. And now we've got a lot of work ahead of us. We've got to make it smoother. We've got to get better. We've got to figure out, you know, the substitution patterns, and he's got to learn more of the offense. So there's a lot of work ahead.
The fouls were off.
What did you think about what the coach said about DeMarcus and learning the offense and just the whole deal with DeMarcus tonight?
He's spot on. And, you know, a big thing, Clint will tell you, when you get injured, sometimes guys are away from the team for a long time. And you kind of lose that bond in the locker room and being around each other daily. And you could see even from the start of the season, I mean, he was into the games and high-fiving, tight with Draymond, and, you know, the relationships kept growing. So you saw that affection tonight, that happiness for him, that this was a great start.
Yeah, he was always around. He was engaged. He used his voice, and he's talked about that.
Oh, he was barking out, wasn't he?
Right. Every time, to Damian Jones, who's hurt right now, but every time he's on the floor, he'd always come back and tell him what he saw from the sideline there, and I feel like that helped him. That helped him just ingratiate himself to his teammates. They always talk about how funny he is, so you can see they were all so happy for him. Even if he didn't play well in this game, they would have still been happy for him. But obviously, the way he played was incredible, and it's a great starting point. Now, there's some points where he looked rusty at times, but he's going to get better. They all know that.
We all thought he looked really strong tonight, but what did DeMarcus Cousins think of his own performance tonight at his Warriors debut? Let's get reaction right now, brought to you by BioFreeze.
Sorry. Welcome back. Coach Kerr said he had a big smile on your face. How did you feel being back out there?
I felt like a kid on Christmas. You know, it's been a long journey. You know, I've said it plenty of times. I don't want to keep, you know, going over the same story, but this is probably one of the best days of my life, just being out there on the floor again, playing the game that I love. My teammates were great. They supported me through this entire process. The organization that supported me through this entire easy and smooth for me as much as they could. They understood the, you know, struggles that I went through on the daily. And like I said, they just made it as smooth and as easy as possible. So, you know, I thank them. And like I said, it's one of the best days of my life.
DeMarcus, can you take us through what your emotions were like after that dunk and then seeing how the bench reacted?
I'm just glad to know I can still dunk. But nah, it felt good. You know, I never in a million years would have thought that would have been my first, you know, my first basket, you know, playing ball again. But, you know, I liked how it happened, and I wouldn't have changed it. I like that.
Hey, DeMarcus, over here. Was it any more different or emotional leading up to this game because of the significance of it and how long you've been out?
It was. I was extremely nervous. You know, I was texting my family and, you know, friends kind of before the game. I talked to my brother. I talked to my sister, my older sister as well, and you know, I was just telling them how nervous I was, and they're like, man, you've been doing this your whole life. Like, it's kind of like, you know, riding a bike. Once you learn, you kind of never forget. But you know, I was nervous all the way up until, and you know, stomach was tight, butterflies, BGs, whatever you want to call it. And but once the ball went up, you know, everything kind of went out the window, and it all felt familiar.
Were you surprised how open you were from three? It seemed like all your threes were.
Yeah, man. I wonder what the scouting report is on me right now. I mean, I can't shoot, but you know, I'll take it. They made my night a little easy, so I'm not mad at it.
DeMarcus, speaking of the shooting, is this as good as you've ever felt as a three-point shooter in your career?
I mean, I can't determine that off of one game. You know, I'm a pretty confident shooter when it comes to, you know, shooting the long ball, but I can't determine that off one game. But it felt good tonight.
How is it to play without double teams when you have a single coverage?
This is a first, like, in my entire basketball career. So I definitely can get used to this.
DeMarcus, how did it feel just to get your rhythm back? At what point did you feel like your rhythm was coming back? You started to get your touches?
Honestly, I still don't really feel like my rhythm is where I want it. Every time I, like, kind of touch the ball, I feel like I was about to travel or, like, you know, kind of trip over my feet. So I would kind of, you know, catch it and just kind of take my time and then make my decision. But, you know, we kind of went on a run. I'm not even sure what part of the game it was, but we kind of went on a run, and coach came to me and was like, you got 4 fouls right now. And I was like, I feel great right now. Like, so we kind of, and at that point I was really, like, into the game, and I was feeling my rhythm. It was kind of coming back for me, and but he was asking me, like, I can either take you out or leave you in. But I was like, coach, just, you know, do what you got to do. So.
How to kind of
Really honest and emotional. Said today was one of the best days of his life. He was really nervous, didn't know if he could do that again. He's always been a good three-point shooter. I think the scouting report may say crowd him a little bit and make him a driver, Stanley. I don't know.